Ruben Neves' second-half penalty gave Wolves a deserved 1-1 draw with four-time European Cup winners Ajax at Banks's Stadium. The 74th minute spot kick, which arrived after fantastic work from the lively Helder Costa, was enough to see Wolves avoid defeat. Donny van de Beek had fired home for Ajax on the stroke of halftime to give them the lead. New signings Raul Jiminez and Rui Patricio did not take part, but it was a worthwhile exercise nonetheless. Here's what Wolves fans thought of a decent game and a promising cameo from 19-year-old midfielder Pedro Gonçalves. At Ricky Wolves 89, not a bad game. At Wolves played decent, could have put a few more chances away, but oh well. John obviously thought a draw was fair. Ajax have got away with one, not that it matters, as it could easily have been a bit of a rout on the balance of play. All encouraging signs so far. Bring on Stoke and Derby. A fair result due against the good side. Target on tour. That Jamie O'Hara tweet. Check a trade info. Asking price at King Kimbo 8, undefeated against 3 Champions League teams, beating 2 of them. Think things are looking pretty decent. TBH. At Hampton Wolver, if we don't dominate each match 5-0, I'm calling for Nuno out by November. At Echtquirk, enjoyable afternoon at best. Get some good football played by Wolves and we should have won. Didn't lose, no injury, bonus. Very impressed. If it weren't for good goalkeeping maybe we could have clinched it. Really happy with the performance of Ryan Giles. At Dark Owl 1 Rush, playing some really good football. At Blosif, so in summation, our last year's team tied Ajax. At Mariana Leicester, a good test against a technically gifted. You shouldn't get excited about pre-season fixtures, but it's hard not to be impressed with. At James Collier 99, I can say I was there when Ruben Neves scored from inside the box. Wolves play Stoke City on Wednesday, July 25th, an early reunion with Benicophobe in Derby County 4 days later. Their final warm-up match comes against Villarreal on Saturday, August 4th, and their first Premier League game at home to Everton the following week. Wolves news, transfers, fixtures, under 23s, Wolves bets, our app, Wolves odds. Wolverhampton Wanderers are preparing to embark on their first Premier League campaign since 2012, and the way the bookmakers see it at the moment, they're expected to make quite an impression. Unlike fellow promoted club Cardiff City, Wolves are being tipped to hit the ground running as they return to the top flight. The Bluebirds are tipped to struggle, but the odds on Nuno's side, before a ball is kicked, reflect that of a club who are predicted to do well. It's early days, of course, but we've taken a look at what the bookies are offering on Wolves across a variety of markets currently. The Old Gold, Cardiff and playoff victors Fulham will join the creme de la creme of English football for the new campaign. So, how do you fancy Wolves to fare next year? Champions holders Manchester City are odds on, and the usual suspects that make up the top 6 are there or thereabouts too. However, Wolves are not a million miles away. In fact, they're on par with Everton and Leicester with the bookies to lift the league title. Hardly the 5,000 over 1 that the Foxes were in 2016. When you consider that Cardiff, Huddersfield and Watford are among a host of clubs whose odds stand at 4 figures, Wolves are comparably short at 250 over 1. Premier League title odds 2018-19, Sky Bet, Manchester City 4/6, Liverpool 9/2, Manchester UTD 7 over 1, Chelsea 12 over 1, Tottenham 12 over 1, Arsenal 25 over 1, Leicester 250 over 1, Everton 250 over 1, Wolves 250 over 1, Bar 501, top 4 finish can. Wolves break into the Champions League spots next season. Much will naturally depend on how successful a transfer window the club have, but it's an exciting time either way for all concerned. Rui Patricio and Raul Jiminez have been added to an already talented squad, and more signings are expected in the closing weeks of the transfer window. There still appears to be a gulf between the top 6 and the rest of the Premier League, though. There were 14 points between 6th-placed Arsenal and 8th-placed Everton this year, with high-flying Burnley sandwiched in the middle. Might Wanderers be the side that can go one step further? Sky Bet have them at 33/1 to gate crash the top 4. Relegation at the other end of the table, Wolves aren't expected to feature, at least at this moment in time. In fact, there are a whole host of sides whose relegation odds are shorter than Wolves. The Molyneux men currently stand at 9/1 to drop back into the Championship at the first attempt, but rivals Cardiff are currently odds on. Huddersfield are expected to struggle next year, too. Premier League relegation odds 2018-19, Sky Bet, Cardiff 4/6, Huddersfield 6/5, Watford 7/4, Fulham 15/8, Brighton 9/4, Burnley 10/3, Crystal Palace 5/1, Newcastle 5/1, West Ham 5/1, Bournemouth 5/1, Southampton 8/1, Wolves 9/1, West Ham 9/1, Bar 12/1. Selected other odds to reflect the above market. Sky Bet also offer odds on the opposite, to stay up. Wolves are just 1/25th to remain in the top flight for at least another season beyond next term. Much isn't made on whether it'll be a top half or bottom half finish, however. Wanderers are 11/10ths to finish in the top half and 8/11ths to be in the bottom half, reflecting the expectation of them to finish somewhere in the middle of the pack of sides fighting for the spots of 7th to 12th.